issue is equally important. See how badly they have constructed this class. There is no proper linking in careful. It is very necessary for a class. Otherwise, we are coming to a very critical point related to that. Satya. The core of the argument here comes now. Does free and open source software has better quality? This is being questioned. The core quality is being questioned. In fact, I will club this argument with the next debate given by Parnas, David Parnas. Core quality is repeatedly questioned and targeted because most of the closed source companies which produce closed source software, will have some stringent rules as to how one person can code. There will be detailed coding guidelines. See, for example, Google's coding guidelines are for everyone to see. It is public. For example, I myself insist to all my students, whoever is coding in C++, to look at the C++ coding style of Google. It is very elaborate. Every company will have its own way of determining that the code that they produce is of highest quality. This as respect. See what happens in free and open source software. As we know by now, free and open source software involves volunteers. There is open door for everyone to come and contribute. With everyone writing code in the way he wants, and this overwhelming notion that freedom should be respected in all possible cases, how will you ensure that the resulting code will be of right quality? There is nothing which will force people to code in a particular way. I mean, if you enforce a standard, then it goes against the principles. And this is the classic case, or should I say the ultimate test for freedom which is being questioned right now. If you are carefully following the case which is being fought in the courts in US, there is one very interesting case which is being fought on the right of expression and the First Amendment and challenge code. Case of Guns versus case. And it's very interesting. It's an ultimate test today for whether freedom of expression should be held supreme, or whether there should be some line drawn somewhere, or whether in the name of freedom of expression do we allow any kind of extreme behavior. This question is being asked today in the courts of US. And the latest round of judgment which came out before some 2-3 days, I believe, is overwhelming support for First Amendment, that is freedom of expression. The courts have ruled that freedom of expression should prevail over everything else. That means, on the one hand, we have to see that people do not work under restrictions. On the other hand, we have this feeling that if we allow people to contribute the way they want, maybe the resulting code will not have quality. In the absence of any kind of controlling mechanism, how do you ensure quality? If you can recall, I want you to recall the system perspective components, input, processing, output, feedback kind of system. There, we do add a control component by arguing that if there is no control component, the whole system will not be able to work in an efficient manner. So the input, process, output kind of simple system becomes efficient because we add one control component and one feedback component. Correct? This is missing here. In our enthusiasm to propagate the idea of freedom, we abstain from having any controlling mechanism. Will it not compromise on equality? It's a question asked here, and I think it's a very, very relevant question which is being asked. This is taken up in great detail by David Perkins and his team. In the later article, they have taken a case study instead of dry argument. What they have done is they have taken one component, very critical component in GNU Linux system called as ARP, Address Resolution Protocol. ARP. And they have analyzed the code. Okay, you are saying that GNU Linux system, which is a result of free and open source model of development, has that, this and all. Okay, let us sit and analyze. They have analyzed. And they have told their remarks, which I have summarized here. They have told the code is very difficult to read. There is no right specification. Design documentation is missing. The interface definitions are not defined properly. With the example they have proven. Yes, they also agree that taking one module out of nowhere and then generalizing may not be the right thing. But at least it provides some sample case. A critical component in our system is not documented properly. The interfaces is not defined properly. Therefore, this may be the trend in which you are working. If you are not worrying too much about your complex part of your code, if you are not documenting it correctly, if you are not bothering to write the code neatly, then how much of your time and energy you spend in documenting the non-important parts in your system? It is being questioned with sufficient proof. So, I think this is one of the important questions which we should ponder on later. One more software engineering related decision is being challenged. I mean, to know the background of this, I don't know whether Fitzgerald actually knows the background of this issue. But this issue has a long history. This issue of modularity in free and open